Have you ever said, if they only knew how good I am, if they only knew how much I could help them, if they only knew how good our products are, if they only knew how good our services are, well, you're in the right place. Because not only I'm going to share with you how you can make sure that they know, but also how to look great while you're doing it. So let's go from the living room into the studio. Voila! With a click of a button, that's how easy it is. So let me share with you exactly what I promised you. I'm Ann Devere, the executive producer of Access to Experts TV, and for the past 15 years we've been training the expert next door to appear on network television or have their own web TV shows and be interviewed and interview experts across the globe. So, what's standing in your way? What's standing in your way of you using video, the most powerful tool there is to promote yourself, maybe train? What's standing in your way? So is it because you don't know how to create videos? You don't know what to say? You don't know what to do? Or maybe it's the technology that's standing in your way. You don't know what tools to use. Maybe you think they cost too much. Or is it that you've created videos but you haven't monetized them yet? Well, whatever it is, I'm going to share with you how to get past all of those because we have the answers. So right now, it's all about using what you have. How can you go global with the information that you have? Interview other experts. You can actually share tips and resources on Facebook Live or YouTube or anywhere else you want. Conduct webinars and seminars and coaching sessions, group consulting sessions. Pretty much everything you do can be done. Now, prove it. Review books. What do you share on Facebook? Books, your thoughts on restaurants, your thoughts on events, programs, anything that you share can be used, including sharing your thoughts, your insight on what's going on, current events, or just life in general. People want to hear from you, right? That's what we do, especially on Facebook. 2 billion people, we're sharing our information. Well, whether you are a service provider like Dr. Phil, who is basically doing what he's doing right now until Oprah put cameras in front of him, or maybe you're more like Dr. Raj. You have products and services that you can demonstrate. You can do anything you want, regardless of what you have. And here's some of the ways some of our people are sharing. Real life people. Diane, she actually started her own show interviewing experts, and then within short 1 month, she already had $2,000 coming in just by interviewing other people. Within 2 months, she was making $4,000 a month interviewing other people. Well, Midori, she started, interviewing, actually sharing content. She's a relationship expert. She was sharing content, sharing her thoughts and expertise with another professional, and she was approached by Paramount. They want to put her show on their lineup. So what do you want? You can see she's sitting in her home office. You don't have to have a studio to do that. Or maybe you want to be interviewed on network television like Kyriakis did. He was a professional. He wanted to be interviewed on network TV, whether it was breaking news or talk shows. So whatever you want, it's all about you showing up in an authentic way and getting out there. And that's what we call docu-branding your story. So what is it that you want? Are you looking to get bigger clients? Are you looking to make a bigger impact? Or maybe you want a best-selling book, or maybe you have a book that you'd like to take to a bestseller position, or maybe you want to speak on bigger stages. Are you a trainer? You want to speak across the globe? What is it that you want to do? Or maybe you want to have your own sold out events. If you're a trainer, you having your own events, you want to have those rooms filled, don't you? Or hey, maybe you want to have bigger product launches. So whatever you want, web TV will do that for you. Remember, we're going across the globe. It's all about going global with your message. Think about it. Facebook alone has 2 billion people on it. So how do you go global? It's all about knowing how to put together your gift shift. We all have many gifts, and I believe one of them is designed to not only bring us the lifestyle that we actually want, but also serve others. You can get whatever you want as long as you help enough people to get what they want. We've heard this quote many times before, right? So Be in service. And how do you do that? Well, the whole thing is about you getting out there and sharing yourself in an authentic way. It's about telling your docu-branding story. It's the story of you and the purpose of your business. So what does that look like? Well, if people knew how brilliant you were, right? If people knew who you were, if they saw you across the globe, would that help? Well, how are they going to like you? Well, if they knew about you, what makes you you? If we start looking at who you are, even from a child all the way up to now, we leave our little fingerprints. Who we are is who we are. Some amazing things that we've done, or the things that we've learned from families, or we've shared. There's stories woven into everything that we do because we didn't just turn up who we are. Our past, our environment created and molded us into the person that we are and built our passions and supported our passions. And some of the challenges we had actually taught us what we need to teach. Okay, so if people knew more about how amazing you are and what you had to go through to get to where you are, would that make them like you? You betcha. Well, what's going to make them trust you? Well, this is when they get to share a little bit of you. They get to experience your brilliance. They benefit by your knowledge. So whatever information that you share, they can actually take it and use it and benefit by it. It's going to make them trust you, isn't it? So this is it. If they knew, like, and trust you, they will choose you. We've heard that over and over again, didn't we? Okay, well, I'm going to share with you now what it is. Your docu-branding story is going to make that happen. So docu-branding, again, is the story of you and the purpose of your business. Well, how does that work? Okay. Well, the first thing is the overview, the story and the purpose of your business. Next, we need to go story mining. This is choosing the stories that build who you are and lets people know who you are. How do you choose those stories? The genre and the plot. Well, we've heard a lot about the hero's journey. This is where Hollywood and TV shows come in, right? So how do you choose how to tell your story? You need to build that up so people are engaged and wanting to watch it. And terrifying your story. If you could tell your story in 15 minutes, if you could tell the story of the products you created in 15 minutes, and if you could customize it so a particular group is engaged and they can actually hear everything you want to say because you're telling the story in a way they want to hear it, that is going to make a big difference. And then how do you fund it? Do you need to invest your own money? Could you do crowdfunding? Or maybe you could do co-op marketing. Or maybe you could get sponsors. All options are available. All kinds of scholarships are available. You can produce anything you want. And finally, once you produce it, how do you produce, promote, and monetize? That's the final question. And these are the things that that goes into docu-branding your story. So let's take a look at how all of this falls into place. And the very first thing I want you to know are the 4 kinds of people: the why people, the what people, how people, and the experience, the what if people. So the why people, why should they listen? The what people, how are you going to keep their attention? What steps do they need to know? How do you choose those steps are very important. The how people are experiential. You need to walk them through a process. They need to experience. And how do you do that? How do you take them on that journey? The what if people. These are the people that you need to get them to understand what's possible for them. Like, what if you could connect with thousands of people across the globe? What would happen if you could connect with millions of people across the globe? What's possible? You get it? So you get to decide for yourself what's important to you. And knowing how to structure the message that includes all 4 people in it, the way they'd like to receive information, is the key. So the hook is the most important part of what you're going to be doing. So I want to share with you how the hook is created. This is really, really important, okay? Because if you don't grab people's attention in 3 to 5 seconds, then they're gone. So I'm going to share with you exactly how to do that. Ready? You hear this all the time, and you know the answer already. So let's get to it. Think of your ideal clients. What are they thinking of? What do they say? You're interacting with them. You hear this all the time. So, for example, if you're a service provider, you might hear, I'm in constant pain. So all you have to do is say to them, are you sick and tired of being in constant pain? Does it sound familiar? You've seen TV commercials. You've seen show openers. Opening with that, and that grabs people's attention. If somebody's in pain, they definitely want to hear it. Whether it's a backache or a headache, any kind of chronic pain, you're going to hear it. Or maybe it's a financial planner. Maybe it's a marketing expert. Maybe it's, let's say, a business expert, business consultant. What would they be hearing? What would they be listening for? Well, people are saying, all I ever do is work, and I'm still broke. So all they have to do is say, have you been thinking, all I ever do is work, and I'm still broke? There's got to be a better way. Okay? So what can you use? Well, all you have to do is listen. I want to change, fill in the blanks, but I don't know how. I don't know where to start. So all you have to do is say, do you find yourself saying, I want to change the way I live, but I don't know how. I want to change where I live, but I don't know how to decide. I want to change how I look, but I don't. You get the picture. So if you know what your people are thinking, then you can actually craft a question that's going to engage them and bring them in front of you. So now we come to the part where I'm sharing with you what I'm using. Okay. $300 worth of equipment. You can go do it right now. All you have to do is get, a Logitech webcam and some lights. Crucial. Lights are very important. A green screen and this software, XSplit. You can actually get it for free, or the pro version is $59 a year. And how to use it? Well, that's what I'm going to show you. Teaching you how to use it so you're doing all the things that I'm doing. And finally, one more thing you need to know, if you're going to actually invest your time and energy into getting the message out there, you have to make sure that you have a plan. And what does that look like? Well, let's say you're going to create a TV show. And again, it doesn't make a difference whether you're on Facebook Live sharing your knowledge or you're going into a studio to produce. It all has to be planned in advance. So the easiest thing you can do is build your following by offering them a free membership where there's more information that they're getting, right? And then, or you can have a paid membership. It could be as little as $20 a month. But if you take time, let's say it takes you a year to build it up to 1,000 people, think about it. $20 a month, 1,000 people, that's $20,000 a month, isn't it? Well, maybe you can create an online program teaching people how to choose products or how to do something that you're doing. So an online program teaching them what you know, your knowledge. Or maybe you can offer that for, $500 or $200 or $1,000, whatever you want. So let's say $1,000, okay? And if you have 100 people paying you $1,000, that's $100,000. Or maybe you can package it all together and have a bigger package. Maybe you can provide services or packages where they're coming to you, for a certain number of sessions. Or maybe you're doing retreats. Maybe you're doing group, whatever it is. Or maybe you're bundling up a bunch of packages. So any one of these would work. All of them would work. It's all up to you. But knowing how to choose what works for you is the important thing. So this is what this is all about. The Global Difference Makers is the show that we're producing, and we're looking for experts. And we want to teach you how to show up, how to be in our global network. And so again, whether you want to be interviewed or you want to have your own TV show, we want to work with you to create that content. There are two ways you can join us. One is online, where you have tools and resources, pre-recorded content, videos, training videos. You have access to 24/7 whenever you need it. The second way is join us in person at our one-day intensive. It's all interactive. You get to work with other experts in your industry and all the other industries from across the globe. Wherever you are, whether you want to join us in the US or Europe or Australia or Asia or India, we'll be there. So pick your place and look how much fun it can be.
You don't believe in what you're saying, what you're doing, the people you're interviewing, your audience knows that.
Seeking the in today's session, we're going to go through what exactly.
Come, join the fun. Be part of our experiential training. Again, join us online, join us in person. We'd love to see you wherever you are.